All right, people cure heart disease. And the people that you hear in the heart disease cure shows cured the heart disease on the show, so you can hear how they do it. Heart disease would be something that you would have to continuously check yourself for the rest of your life. And you're going to learn how to, I don't know if you've done lesson number 1. I mean, that you might want to do lesson number 1 before you watch this movie, okay? Because that's another movie. And that will teach you how to do the basics. What I'm going to show you how to do here is, and tell you and talk to you about are, some things that are more specific. You have to learn the basics first, and then you can get into the specifics. Roger Enrico had, I believe, a heart attack and then went back to work after he retired at Coca-Cola, at PepsiCo, because he wanted to come through for everybody. Courageous though that was, I think he needed to learn to do this first, before he went off and took that risk. What you've got to learn to do with heart disease is, number one, you got to alter your DNA. You got to take it out of your DNA. It's a DNA-based problem. It's also viral-based. Often it's caused by herpes viruses. This medical science has confirmed, but I knew it before. I knew it before I ever saw the research on the web. I knew it. I had herpes for 28 years. I got it in '66. And I'm somebody who could very easily have had my second heart attack by this point, because I'm going to be 63 in a couple of days, a few days here. And, but fortunately I cured my herpes, it's 14 years ago now. I had both kinds, HSV1 and 2. I believe it's the HSV1 that they found in the heart when they biopsied people who had massive heart attacks. So, here's the book. I wrote this. This is an ebook, and I printed it out in large size because I like having a big size book, Let me just read you something from here. This is just something I'm reading at random. When people first began to do immunics, they very quickly discover that they can read the bodies of other people just as they can their own. It is, in some sense, the same thing, and they can also remove things from other people's bodies just like from their own. I don't know, I think probably a lot of people have already turned this movie off because, and not to go do lesson number 1. But because, see, the problem with this is it's weird, This is a completely alien reality. I mean, curing heart disease? Come on, People don't cure heart disease. They die of it, right? I mean, everybody knows that. There is no cure for heart disease, So we've got the cure for heart disease, so we're weird. This is something that is completely alien to the experience of most people. And the more I tell you about it, the weirder it is and the more strange it's going to be. And your only hope with this is to start doing it immediately and to feel good. Because when you start doing it, the minute you start doing this, it makes you feel good. The second, from the first moment, way before you cure your heart disease, it's going to make you feel good. And when it makes you feel good, that may be your hope of continuing with it and saving your own life, which is what you're going to do with this if you do it. You will save your life with this as I have saved mine. I am certain that I would be dead right now if I hadn't started doing this a long time ago. So, That's what I can tell you about it. You know, you're going to have to get used to being weird, and of your spouse not getting into it and understanding you, and you know, or whatever. And you're also probably going to have to get used to being a disease activist, because when you do this, it's simply inevitable that you become a disease activist at some point. You know, you just realize that you've saved yourself and that you owe a debt to the world. You have something to give, and you darn well better start giving it, you know, because if you don't, you're not fair. You're not fair and you're not loving. And see, this makes you loving. You become loving when you do this. So you're going to find that you know, want to help. You know, you want to give to people. You know, you want to be there for them. You know, because you can. You know, it's just something that you can do, so you want to do it. Okay, so now, how do you cure heart disease? Well, basically, in this book, and also in the lessons on the web that you're here with, and if I were you watching this movie, I'd probably be looking over the page while I'm listening, you know, too, so probably already know what you got here. You're going to find a list of bodies and a list of pathologies. And what you do is let's pretend I have the list of pathologies in this hand and the list of bodies in this hand. And what you do is you take these pathologies out of these bodies. And when you've done that, after, you see, you're going to learn how to test. I don't know if you've done lesson number 1 already, but if you haven't, you're going to learn how to test in lesson number 1, okay? And what you do is you test through the bodies one by one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And in some of the bodies, you're going to find some of the pathologies. And you take those pathologies out. And then, once you've done that, and all the bodies are free of pathologies, you then test through the bodies again, one by one. Is it in this one, this one, this one, this one? And you take the heart disease. You will say, is there any heart disease in my emotional body? And if you get yes, you remove it. And when you remove it, you will probably find that you feel very different than you did when it was in there. Because this is real. If you find it there, it was there, and it was doing something to you. You know, it was hurting you. You were having a feeling about it, with it, from it. And you take it out, that feeling goes. And, you know, and after the heart disease is gone from the bodies, then you're going to test your DNA. And then you're going to do a whole bunch of other things. You're going to go into the lessons on the website. You're going to use the lessons on the web. You're going to get a colleagueship and get a password for the college, and go through all the lessons and find what is relevant to heart disease. And you're going to do every lesson that's relevant. And you're going to live. You're going to cure this thing. And when you go back to the doctor is going to test you negative. You're going to pass your MRI and whatever else they do on you. You know, you're going to, wow, they're going to go, wow, I can't believe it, you're normal. Your heart's normal. Yep, that's right. That's what's going to happen. Just like when people go get tested for herpes and they get their test back and it's gone. When they get tested for hepatitis B and they get their test back and it's negative. Their HIV viral load goes to 0. And that's what's going to happen for you with heart disease. Same thing. And then you're going to get another password for the cure drive, or maybe get that one first and report your cure. And send us your cure story. All right. Oh, and we need more cure shows on heart disease. And let's do one. Call us.